Back to Don Hung. Why are we switching to Don Hung? He does not speak. What the hell?
What are you thinking about?
Yancy. Oh, it's weird to hear in English. Just amazed at how this towering tree is Circe's divine body. It's a majestic sight.
Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the great tree.
Merely something from the past that I won't get into.
Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Circe's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars, and their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree, because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot.
You're a sky priest, yet you study at a place that is home to the Reason Titan. That's rather counterintuitive.
Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Circe's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves.
Yes, I didn't count on provoking the ire of a local god.
But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for.
So, let me get this straight. So, they're not letting people leave the Amphorius, is that it? Wow, that is messed up. It's like, no, 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 no. We don't want people going out and discovering something better than here, you know? You should stay here. Trust me, you want to stay here. Or else.
It's just, I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
Bad luck tends to come in streaks, so don't beat yourself up over it. Besides, Aglaia needs you here to uncover the truth behind what happened to the Groove. Let's just make the most out of this trip and keep a lookout for any documents related to the Death Titan. They could be useful to Sorako.
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh?
Yeah.
In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway.
I just said thank you. Bro, I'm recording. Yeah, turn on light. Turn on the light. What about you? Will you be alright on your own?
Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
Alright, if you say so. The silence in here is near deafening. With the vast amount of knowledge it holds, this academy is akin to a labyrinth of information. Even the cleverest of scholars would easily lose their way in here. I should gather my thoughts before heading in. Nah, enough musing for now. It's time to move. The clock is ticking. I should search for clues as I move. The night sky feels unusual. Now, I've gotten used to the eternal light of Okuma. Black monsters are twisted in form, and their life has turned to ash together with their souls. It's impossible to figure out their form when they were still alive. These are the remains of Black Tide monster. It does look different from the Titan Ken from up close. What's that underneath it? A scroll? Hmm. As I expected, the groove doesn't forbid discussions about the sky. It's a debate between two scholars about the sky ships. Aglaia also made mention of the ships when she interrogated us, a memory I'd rather forget. I'll hold on to this for now. With any luck, this journey won't leave us empty-handed. Huh? That's Beyonce. Why is she surrounded by so many monsters? As much faith as I as much faith as I have in her, it's probably a good idea to help her out here.
Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for.
Need a hand?
Or you could sit back and watch.
Alright, I'll just do that then. I can't tell if you're serious or not. But being hard to read isn't without its perks, I suppose.
I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please. All right, now let's get him.
Let's go!
Step up, let's see ya.
Watch closely.
This place is practically in ruins. What happened? There shouldn't be this many monsters here.
The Black Tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me. Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you.
Anaxa. Chorus? He's the scholar who fused himself with the core flame of reason.
This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it.
I think he wants to find aeons that could help him revive his sister. Finon said Anaxa might be opposed to the core flame chase journey.
Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic,
Heretic? Yeah.
even in a place as liberal as the Grove. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Circe's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways.
Yep. I picked up a scroll on my way here, too. It looks like it may be related to one you're holding.
Oh? Let me have...
Hyunshi combines both records together. Of course they just have the black screen again. Of course they didn't
By
change
the
it.
looks of them,
Oh man.
these scrolls are records
Trust
of
no
two
devs
conversations
from,
that took place in the
Hoyo.
same setting, one after the other.
There's still much I don't know about the Grove. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Actually, I'm not asking anything. I don't have any more questions.
Anaxa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the sky ship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the sky ship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the sky ship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me.
Don't worry about it. We'll just collect everything we can find on the Titans for now. There's something else that caught my attention, though. This says that the Naxa is conducting secret experiments of some sorts.
That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here.
That doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits.
Well, if you don't mind, did the Groove ever rob Castrum Kremnos?
Whew. You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that.
Agreed. This place isn't safe. We should leave as soon as we've done. There are still several more scrolls strewn all over the place. I'll gather them while you pull up those texts. This way, nothing will be overlooked. There are complaint letters from the scholars of Anaxagoras. Anaxagoras. I need to remember that. The blasphemer. There's a thick stack of letters. Based on the dust accumulated and the perfect intact seals, the complainee did not even bother opening them and just chucked them aside in the corner. This is about an Axa. I should read this. Hyanshi, you should come have a look too.
Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that.
Does an Axa hold that much influence?
Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn.
An uncanny impersonation. What happened after?
They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish.
Damn, that was fast.
So what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholars' allegations, or face expulsion from the Grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations?
Am I supposed to put in an Axe's shoes and answer that? Yes. As told in the myths, the seas, the skies, and the earth are all, beyond the shadow of a doubt, creations of the Titans.
Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead,
of course he said
quoted
no.
past instances of the flame chase journey.
Well, I thought the
and
yes
found
or
that
no
humans have the
was
potential
for
to
the
take
fact that
over
I
the
should
divinity
mimic
of the
Anaxa or
Titans.
not. Never mind.
Needless to say, His critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it?
That's a serious allegation. Did he really do that?
Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient.
No, he sacrificed it so he could see his sister for a moment.
Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kithily, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious.
I mean, it's his own eye, no?
Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that titans are meant to be noble constructs.
But he didn't say that the Titans are not noble. Rings louder in this case.
Yes. I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved. But what's for certain, at least, is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones.
Given the Grove's meticulous approach to archiving, could there really be such an oversight right under the noses?
It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right?
Of course not. These 3, they're like a maze.
This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the Black Tide destroy it all?
No wonder we didn't see any defense mechanisms along the way. Have you ever been here before?
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
There are the materials requested by Anaxagoras. Documents from various fields have been compiled in one place, including Titan creations, the universality of the soul, alchemy doctrine, and so on. Most of the materials look to be within the research domain of the Nosporis school of thought. However, a document titled A Study on the Chrysos Heirs background is mixed within.
What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and me?
Beyonce. This journal contains several intriguing points. Anaxa's research. Through alchemy, Anaxa aims to refine the golden blood in the Chrysos heirs to a degree of purity equal to divinity. This must be what he means by close to true purity. But treating both Titan's creations and the human body as materials to be used in alchemy experiments? That's rather extreme.
Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this. My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Yep, for his sister, I guess. Do you mean he's trying to reconstruct human souls alchemically?
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's wrong?
Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Cersei's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
But Cersei took over his body and resurrected him, which led to the situation we're in now.
That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident?
Oh, he meant to do it? What do you mean?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
I'd put my theories to the test no matter the cost.
Exactly. When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Did he succeed? I mean, he is alive, isn't he?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Cersei's would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
But he is dying. Could he have taken them for other purposes?
Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now.
World-bearing Titan.
No. No way.
To conceive an entity of perfection, one must first understand the principles of creation. If Anaxa is in alchemy now, then that means...
He's after Kefali.
Yep, world-bearing Titan, alright.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance.
I'm built different.
We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Xerxes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just as I see it. Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning.
Yes, but MC? Kind of a special case that you don't know about. He's pretty much dead and his soul is roaming somewhere. And he's technically dead but not dead at the same time.
How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa, I'm here. His life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end. and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and his survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is, as I've mentioned earlier, the answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you are in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? Yet you have no idea who she is. The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that, but it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
In the meantime,
I have news from Hyacinth and Dan Heng. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
They don't know. They don't know what's going on.
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kynus is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods, become the next challenge you are to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Come find us anytime you need something. Nothing to say? I guess nothing to say.
Preposterous! The Christos-heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders.
Shut up!
How dare they trample over it?
Shut up! You talk too much. Wow, these people are shooting daggers with their eyes.
It's been a while.
But we've never met.
That's fine. I recognize you. The young lord has nothing but good words about your courage.
It has indeed been some time, Lord Crateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh. Keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kynus. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Thunderclaps. Hooray! It's Acheron! Someone's coming to save us.
Hacker. What?
He's been through a lot lately, please pardon him. Can you tell us more about these thunderclaps?
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kynus has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
Get off the stage! Down! How dare you! Don't place that!
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
By Catholic into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed.
Aglaya, what happened here?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty, but...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate, but that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
No way I'm fighting the debate. Please don't. The piece of shit.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today.
Oh my god.
Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphorius was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat with no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice. Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
No hesitation. I stand by Era Nova. Era Nova is a path of salvation. The gods promised. We should not have doubts in the flame chase journey.
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kainas. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the 3 Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Era Chrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side.
Come on.
Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you that Era Chrysia will exist once more.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What the hell? Castorus, what the hell are you doing?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Era Chrysia.
Damn, this is messed up.
Era Chrysia! Era Chrysia!
Castorus, come on. What are you doing? Oh boy. Man, I'm getting into art.
Castorus? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Naxa. So have you, Cass.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizens, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. we will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphorius back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the flame chase journey.
He's one of the 7 sages. That's impossible.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions. Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
But this place will become the Flame Reaver's target sooner or later.
Oh. Could it be that you heard that from the Flame Reaver themselves? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world.
They're really living in a delusion land, bro.
Oh, legendary Erechrysia, return to the mortal realm.
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the flame chase journey will have to end.
Erechrysia! Yes! Yes!
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence, right?
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
What?
With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorus brings back will be personally managed by the Council of Elders.
They just want power. They don't even care. They're just too scared of the demigods.
Thereafter, if we
that is so fucked up, bro.
the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Erechrysia
This
will
bitch
return
pisses
to
me off
our
so hard,
world
bro.
once again.
Fuck you. This bitch pisses me off so hard. I can't even look at her face anymore. I want to see her dead, bro.
The result is clear. By Kefali and Talent and above, as the Theoros, I have observed. Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya, what has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the flame chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
I hate this dude. I really hate this dude, man. Lygus announces the conclusion of the debate, and the attendees part ways. Castorus, what's going on? What is going on with you, girl?
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
What happened when you went to look for Anaxa?
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes.